Ow. Morning, gang. It's me. Right, it's a horrible rainy day out there today. We're down the unit and I'm gonna make some progress on the transit. So, there's the transit, there's Ronnie. I somehow need to turn that round so that I can have the engine bay this way so that I can get the engine out. I think the engine hoist is in here somewhere. However, so what I've got to try and do, yeah, there's the engine crane, right, that's fine. I've got to try and turn it round. I'm gonna do like a Austin Powers thing, there, forwards, backwards, and I'm on my own. It's just me. So I've got to get Ronnie out. There's my Mini. Woohoo. Love my Mini. Although I don't love the £971 to change the timing chain. But anyway, it should add value to it, whatever. So I'm gonna get Ronnie out, which is a bit sad because it's raining out there and everything's gonna get wet, and I don't like Ronnie getting wet if he doesn't have to, but it can't be helped. So I'll get Ronnie out and then you can watch me struggle on my own. But using the power of your mind, mentally help me. I've got a bad knee. I mean, I'm super strong and all, but I've also got a bad knee. So we'll see what happens. Right, I'll get Ronnie out. I'll catch you in a minute. Now that's heavier than I thought. I'm gonna have to go and find some friends because I can't do it. I wish I had my van. I've got some tools. Right, so first things first, I'm gonna jack it up. Ooh, fucking didn't. Take a deep breath. Right, see you in about 45 minutes when I've put all these tools away. 25 minutes later, all my tools are back in, all apart from, somehow, I've lost a whole bloody screwdriver handle, a 6mm and a 6mm. So let's just hope I don't need a 6mm on that. Where the friggin' hell have they gone? At least I've got the 10mm, I suppose. Where the hell have they gone? Anyway, right. Oh well, right, I'm sure I've got some spare 6mm in a bag somewhere. Stupid. So yeah, anyway, there's the Mini. Mini's going well. I might actually be going to look at another spec lift tomorrow. I've got some other things to tell you. I'm going to do like although this is a transit update, I have got some other stuff to tell you. Anyway, I need to stop talking and just get on with this. Right. I suppose you're just going to sit there and watch me work, aren't you? Right, let's get this jacked up. Oh, it's looking a bit rough, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to start stripping stuff now. I need to get this bumper off. Now, I've already seen some of the bumper screws are absolutely rounded off, chewed, rusted to death. So I don't think this process is going to be a quick one. So I'll just whip the bumper off and I'll catch you when I've got to that point and start stripping the engine. Ah, good old cable tie. There's always a bloody cable tie somewhere. Okay, got a torch now. Proper damage report then. So, as you can see, it's pretty rotten in here. There's even bottle caps. God knows why. But I was hoping that this whole crush bar would come off. It clearly doesn't. So I think it's going to be a case of get the engine supported, get everything else off. So I'll get everything off at the minute that I can. So I'm going to take the carb off so it doesn't get damaged and the airbox doesn't get damaged whilst I'm taking it apart. Get the prop shaft disconnected from the gearbox. Oh, look at that sump, you bad boy. Take the weight and start seeing what's happening. And see if we can get it. I should be able to get it out of this gap here. I wouldn't be surprised if that damage there was caused when they fitted the engine, because obviously you've got to sort of slope it in. So that's my plan. I'm probably going to use, you know, I changed my straps on my truck yesterday. If you keep up with the other videos, you'll have seen that I changed the straps. So I've kept all the old straps. My other worry is this manifold. So I've drenched it in WD, but I couldn't get those manifold bolts out before. Obviously I changed, if you've seen, I've changed the gaskets on this one, and I got it cleaned up. But this one, I haven't been able to get them off yet. So I was going to do it when I got it out. So I just need to break that clamp there. If I have to, I'll just grind that off. But those U-clamps and the bolts themselves are an absolute fortune from Flying Spares. So Flying Spares, if you want to sponsor me a video, give me some clamps for free, I'll give you a big shout out. Love you, bye. Right, so I'm going to start stripping stuff off now, get these coolant pipes disconnected. Right, yeah, let's get going. I've got nowhere to put me line. Oh, there we go, look at that. Woohoo. Right, magnets are amazing. Right, they're the future. I am going to take lots of pictures so that I can remember where things go. Because ironically, there isn't a Haynes manual for V8 Transits. Let's get this bloody carb off. Just want to share with you some genius work I've just discovered. This is a brake line. Follow that brake line down. It's cable tied to the dipstick tube. Now, in case you haven't noticed, engines move, right? Which is why you have flexi pipes on exhausts. Engines move, especially V8s with bags of torque. They move when you rev them. When you accelerate, engines move. You don't cable tie brake pipes to dipsticks, man. That's like V8 in transit rule number 1. Do not cable tie brake pipes to dipsticks. Right, I'll tell you what, I do love the smell of petrol. Reminds me of being like 10 years old. Nothing bad's happened to me in my life yet. And I'm at my grandparents', walking into the shed to help him mow the lawn. Takes me back. Right, I'm trying to keep putting all my nuts and bolts back together so that it doesn't feel like, well, it does actually feel about 10 years ago, but it wasn't that long ago that we were fitting that carb. I'm trying to set it up. That this carb, this inlet plenum here, could massively do with being ported and polished. Look at the state of that. That's literally like someone's just thrown weld at it. So start disconnecting some coolant hoses. That can stay on. That's a fuel pipe. Look at the state of this. So that was just connected to the oil filter, which, so I assume that's some sort of, that must be oil pressure, or no, it's got to be oil temperature, that. But I've also found loads of cut wires, so like this here. Oh, actually I cut that. I cut it, and I know it was me because I've written on it, fan switch, so I do know what that is. I'm a genius. It was me, I was going to go, some idiots cut all this. It was me. I'm the idiot. Right, let's get that P-clip off. That looks 10 mil, it's got to be. Do you know what? This engine's going to look class in it when I've got it on a stand and I can properly clean it up, spray it, get it looking amazing. The other thing I'm going to do is remove all the unnecessary crap, because there's just loads of like mounts and things on it that are left over from the legacy Rolls Royce that it was fitted to. Well, the only problem is as well, everything's expensive. So like these gasket covers for these rocker covers, super expensive they are. Get a ratchet screwdriver, Don't know where I got this from. Right. This is obviously all aftermarket, so that has got to be coolant temperature here. Let's just whip it out of the way. Whip it out of the way, Gav. So I was talking to Lincoln Radiators, who are making me, they're going to make me a custom radiator to fit in here. And they were saying to me about this expansion bottle. So the guy I got it off, or actually one of the blokes who owned this before me, he's probably going to watch this video, but he told me that what this needed was to get rid of the expansion tank, because it would run better without one. I spoke to Lincoln Radiators about that, and they said don't do that. They were like, no, you need the expansion tank. So we're keeping it. They're the guys that they do this for a living. Got a hydraulic leak now. Considering these fuckers around here drive buses for a living, they don't have to make a meal out of parking. So that's our brake vacuum for the brake servo. Right, I think now, other than the exhaust, we are completely disconnected. Right, 25 minutes, well, 15 minutes I've spent on that that other manifold clamp onto the exhaust, and it ain't coming off, so I know when to stop pissing around. Angle grinder's coming out. Don't have any goggles, health and safety please, don't have anything. I need to go and walk Malcolm, so I want to get this off so it's disconnected. Then all I've got left is the starter motor cables. I'll break the starter motor cables, or disconnect it from the starter motor, and then prop shaft, and then we are literally, oh actually I've got to disconnect the transmission cables, so that shouldn't be a problem, he says. And then we are pretty much in a position where I can pull this engine up. Get it on the stand. The disc just disintegrated into my face, which is why you shouldn't do what I just did. Right guys, I've reached a point I can't do it. My grinding disc has just literally exploded, which I've never seen before. So I'm gonna go home. I've got some grinding discs at home, so I'm gonna go home. Not a grinding disc, cutting disc. So I'm gonna go and get a new cutting disc, and then walk Malcolm. Probably have a little bit of lunch, and I'll come back. I'm literally 3/4 of the way through that, and then that's off. Starter motor, prop shaft, and then engine out. We're pretty much there. As long as the engine mounts come out, obviously, which God knows. In fact, I've not even seen the back ones. We'll work it out, won't we? Right, I'll see you be back in about an hour. Right, catch you in a minute. I'm just back walking douchebag. There he is. Who has got to sniff absolutely everything in the world. My lip was feeling a bit weird. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Basically, when that disc exploded on that grinding disc, it's whacked me in the lip. I was like, what is going on here? I feel like I've been to the dentist. Anyway, just walking in, and then we'll be back to the Transit. We'll get that engine out. Whee! Right, we're back. New grinding disc, cutting disc, a metal cutting disc that was in my garage. I couldn't find my safety specs, so what I did find though is my old motocross glasses, goggles. So safety first and all, we're going in, because my lip got busted by that last one when it disintegrated. So at least we'll look cooler. Right, let's get this disc changed, cut that one off, and then start where we left off before. I can't remember how much they were now, but these C-clamps are about 60 quid or something. I think they're about 50 quid a half. And why would you buy half? Right, okay, what we got next? Let's unplug the angle grinder. Safety. Safety, safety. Sometimes you think, I'll just get the snips, snip that, and I'll just solder it when I come back to it, but no, Ben. To there. There's that little screw. Let's put that back in the starter motor. Okay, electrically disconnected. Now we've got to do that prop shaft. Let's have a little look. Let's have a gander at the prop shaft. Finding things. That prop shaft donut there is absolutely goosed. Bloody hell. So for total honesty here, guys, I have never pulled the engine out. I think these are 17. Yeah. I've never pulled the engine out of a rear wheel drive vehicle before, but I've done plenty of engine changes on front wheel drive. It can't be that hard, can it? Do you know what I'm really worried about? I'm going to bang my sump. My freshly painted sump, taking this out. I'm going to damage it. I've never actually taken a rear wheel drive vehicle engine out. But as far as I'm concerned, it's got to be easier than a front wheel drive transverse engine on it. Sorry if you can see right up my nose here. Well, I think we're going to need a bigger boy. All my breaker bars are in my van, which is not here. Uno. So this prop shaft has got 4 bolts, 4 nuts and bolts, right? Every single one of them is different. Every one. Ow. It's 3 down. Okay, so disconnected this. Look at this. The prop shaft donut, absolutely goosed. Don't worry, guys. All you guys that have been drifting this around, don't you worry about it. So that's going to need to be replaced. Right, so we're disconnected now. Now we've got to disconnect the gear selector. There's my mounts. There's my engine mounts. Gearbox mount is there. Oh, we've only got 1 bolt holding that on, don't worry about that. Let's start undoing some stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this on my own. Okay, sit rep. Bit of an update for you, right? So I've totally forgot about the alternator connections, so I've disconnected them. So we're now fully disconnected. Gearbox is disconnected, engine is disconnected, electrically and everything. I've whipped the oil cooler off, so that's going to come out with it. So it's a transmission oil cooler, so transmission fluid cooler, effectively. I always knew there was an oil cooler there. I just assumed it was for the engine. Now, my aim now, I'm going to go and get the crane, set the crane up. I'm going to do a quick account for all my tools because I've got tools everywhere and I'm a little bit funny about my tools. I want to make sure I've got everything. So I'm going to check all my tools. Then I'll go and get the hoist, and then we'll start trying to work out where I'm going to lift from, get some straps around it, start taking some weight off it, and then we'll start doing some engine mounts. And hopefully I can try and get it out. So the good thing about having a recovery company and a truck parked outside is I've got millions and billions of straps. So I just need to work out what combination of those straps is going to work to get this engine on. They'll all lift that, no problem. They're all like rated to like 4 tons minimum. So we now got to work out. Oh, my head's bleeding. That must have been that spanner. Ow. I'm a spanner for letting that happen. Right, okay, update. If this isn't worth a coffee, if this isn't worth you buying me a coffee for a £5, follow the link. I'll put it there, and it's in the description of the video. Every penny of that, by the way, goes on this Transit. Genuinely, I mean it. Right, we are now, I've got a big mismatch of straps everywhere, but they're all on main anchor points. Nothing soft. Everything is cast. So I've got this, one of my old straps off Ronnie there, and then I've got that's a type of axle strap. And what I've gone for, round the back of the bell housing there, which I think should give me the most amount of support. So all that's behind that, so I've got the strap at the front, then that yellow strap, and then I've just got to try and basically not let that sump hit any of these axles or that steering rod. I don't know. Wish me luck, guys. I really need some help with this, and I probably should just wait until my mate is free. But I want everything now. I want this out. I want to get it in for some welding, and I know you do too. It's been too long. So what could possibly go wrong? Do you know what? If I have to respray that sump, I'll do it. Right, let's see what happens. Time to go for the big. Oh, actually, I've still got to do those engine mounts. I'll do the mounts on the back, and then I'll turn you on. I'll turn you on. I'll turn you on when we're ready to lift. I'm trying to put you somewhere where you can see, you get a good view. I know what you're thinking. Christ, Ben has aged about 10 years, and you would be right. I feel about 10 years older. I have got more rust in my eyeballs than is on that Transit. So we are now hooked up. All the mounts are undone. I've cut all the cable ties off the oil cooler. I think we're now ready. To lift. I've disconnected everything. I've triple checked everything. I'm a bit worried about that distributor banging on there. I think we should be okay. Just going to take it nice and slow. I think I might have got the weight distribution just about right. It's still going to be a bit tail heavy on that transmission. I just hope it doesn't clatter into the axle. But can one man take a V8 and a transmission out all on his own with no help? Other than I did have a little bit of help to move it around. But look at the state of me. This is worth a coffee, guys. Get on that link, buy me a coffee. Right, this is where I'm going to find out how tail heavy it is, because that the transmission is resting. The transmission is resting on the brace there. You see through that gap there. So it's resting on there. So as I pull that, that's where it's going to drop if it's really tail heavy. I'm hoping that strap there is going to stop it from dropping too much, but only time will tell. Oh, imagine doing this job with 2 people. You're spoiled. Right, I think now I need to just push the transmission over that cross member, seeing where the weight is being distributed. Oh, it's bloody heavy, this. Oh, fuck. I don't know if I've got enough of the weight of it, and I'm not gonna know until it's like too late. I could end up getting crushed by this, but Hopefully it will just settle, even at like this angle. It should do. Right, we're all disconnected. Right, how's my bench press going? Go on, lad. Go on. Okay, right. Let's take it up a little bit more. At least put myself on the internet looking amazing. I've decided I'm going to call this video "Can One Man Remove a V8 Engine?" See, I reckon there's some weld seams here. I think they've cut this, fitted the engine, and then re-welded that up. Come on, Ben lad, we don't need no welding or cutting. There we go. I knew someone was stopping it. Fucking paint. Shit. Oh my God, right. Now, I've got to find something to put it on. But at least now the engine's out, I can get this over to Charlie. Charlie can start doing some welding on it. Right, I'm just gonna find something I can put this engine on that's not gonna damage it. Right guys, so we're pretty much done for what I wanted to achieve today, which was to get the engine out. So I'm gonna sit the engine down on those tires in a sec. That looked expensive. But there she is, all on my own. Do you know what? I know I look like I'm about 142 years old right now, but I feel really accomplished. I've done an engine change on my own before, but it was in an MG ZR 1.4 K series head gasket. Clearly cooked it, you know the score. But I've never done a rear wheel drive vehicle. I've never done a V8. Arguably, it was a lot simpler to do than a lot of stuff because there was a lot less connections, a lot less electrics. So she's looking good. I balanced it relatively well. I think that yellow strap there and and being adjustable because it was a ratchet strap helped me out. I'm going to sit it down nicely in a second on that tyre, and then what I'm going to do is I'll speak to Charlie and we'll look at getting the transit. So we're going to get the transit in to Charlie. He's going to do some welding. I want all these cross members sorted. I want it immaculate in here basically, so we'll get everything ripped out, all these electrics. I want to replace all these fuel lines, all this bullshit. That's a pipe cutter that's used as a fuel flow regulator. Getting a C, mate, like seriously, what? Well, I'm not even gonna rant about it anymore. So yeah, I'm not saying this is going to be a nut and bolt refurb, but do you know what? It ain't going to be far off. I want this thing to be immaculate. Obviously, I'm going to split the box and the engine. I'll get you involved in that. But we'll get this trailered across, stick it on the back of Ronnie, and we'll get it across to Charlie. I hope you think I've deserved a coffee here, because I feel like I've deserved about 5 pints, which is exactly what I'm going to go and do in a minute once I've put this engine down on the floor, before it all goes horribly wrong. My sump, my red sump, didn't come off too badly. There's a little bit of a nick there. But do you know what? A quick touch up with a rattle can, that will sort that. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'm sorry it's been so long on the transit front. I know there's a lot of you on the channel that are only here because of the transit. Well, do you know what? Stick around and watch some of my other stuff, because you never know, you might like it. It might make you laugh, might make you cry, who knows. But thank you for your support. I will try and get down here at least once a week now to, or if not more, then we'll start progressing this quickly. I want it painted, I want the engine back in, running well. We'll do that soon. So I'm going for a shower in a minute, then I'm going to the pub. Maybe see you in the pub. Feel free to buy me a coffee. Much love, guys. See you on the next one. Cheers.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye.